Welcome to the world famous Buckeye Show, right here on the Voice of College Football Ohio State channel. Want to start off by thanking all of our members. You can see their names right here at the bottom of the screen. Myself and Garrison have already set a meeting to talk about the different content and when we are going to start pushing things out. So just letting you know, things behind the scenes are working for our members. So we are glad to have you all here. I am going to be running the show solo dolo today. So y'all make sure y'all, be thinking of our guy, Terry, man. We appreciate Terry. And, he'll be back next week, man. So let me know in the comments. Make sure you keeping the comments going. Let me know what do you guys think about the post spring? What is your grade for Ohio State? Let's start off with overall grade, right? Post spring grades. What is your overall grade for Ohio State? The Buckeyes went ahead and had 14 people drafted. Sorry, I am trying to get the show out on Twitter as well. So let me make sure I do that. I don't know about y'all, but I thought that the Buckeyes was going to somehow be able to pull it off and get their 15, man. I really did. I thought that we were going to get our 15 draft picks. Even despite the injury to Seth McLaughlin, I still thought, hey, he is going to be able to, get drafted because he's so talented, right? I couldn't believe that my guy went undrafted. That would have tied us. That would have tied us with Georgia for 15, man. So get this pulled up in the community. And then we have all of our Buckeye folks up in here. Have everybody pull up. Alrighty. There we go. All right. Let's get to the show. So we have, like I said, excuse me, y'all. I am under the weather. Allergies is hitting me. But I'm bouncing back from that. So you have 14 Buckeyes drafted. Who didn't go drafted that we thought was going to get drafted, right? You had G. Scott, Josh Fryer, and obviously our guy, Seth McLaughlin. They still went ahead and found homes, though. They got signed. So they will have their opportunity to go ahead and fight for roster spots, man. And to be honest, also let me know in the comments, what do you all feel? Do y'all feel like y'all like the spots that the Ohio State players went? You might not like it because they went to maybe a rival team. But do you feel like the spot that they landed at was a perfect fit for them in their skill set, right? So let me know in the comments what you like. What player did you like? What did you like where they went, man? I'll tell you the shocker of the draft for me was Tyleik Williams going first round, right? A lot of people were saying, hey, he'll probably be, definitely going in the second, third round. A lot of people were more high second round. But for our guy to go ahead and go in the first round, man. So shout out Tyleik Williams going in the first round. I thought that was amazing. And then you got your guy, Donovan Jackson. My guy made some money. A lot of people were still talking about Donovan Jackson, possibly still only going second round, at guard. But here was the thing that we've talked about on this platform multiple times in spaces, right? Was the simple fact that what he was able to show NFL teams by being able to play that left tackle position is this guy can travel. When you have your traveling old lineman it's not like, oh, we traveling with 10 linemen. It's most likely like, 8 max, right? Donovan Jackson solidified himself where now, regardless if he starts or he doesn't, he's the guy that you have to have in there on there to travel. So I expect Donovan Jackson to have a long career in the NFL. And it just goes to show that Ohio State continues to develop like they say they do, developed here. And I'm just proud of what Donovan Jackson was able to do, man. Now, shout out Doreen, one of our members, man. We got our members and our mods in here. I appreciate you. Shout out Robert. Shout out Doreen. We appreciate you all. If you haven't, make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching on Twitter, hit that retweet button. That really helps us get more eyes on this. And then that way, all of your followers that's following you, they'll get to check this show out and be looking out for us as well. So if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you hit that retweet button, man. We appreciate you all. Let's see. Our guy Robert says, I don't follow any NFL teams anymore, so I will easily be able to root for all my Buckeyes. Hey, Rob, I understand. College football is my bread and butter, man. I'm a Steelers fan, but I love college football more than I love the NFL. It's just more grit, more grind to it. The guys are actually fighting for stuff and fighting for something. So I still am a college football fan. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. And I root for, our Buckeyes. Like I said, I'm a Steelers fan, but you got your guys, like Denzel Ward on the Browns, right? Still going to root for my guy. Quinshon Judkins is now there. Still going to end up rooting for my guy. So wherever the Buckeyes go, I remember, when the New Orleans Saints kept getting them Ohio State players, I was calling them the Ohio State Saints or the New Orleans Buckeyes. So wherever our Buckeyes going, man, I'm definitely following, and I'm always going to root for them. Definitely hope our guy Chris Olave ends up in a better situation than the Saints right now. So that's one. And the team up north, they finally have released their spring game footage. If anyone checked that out on Sunday, if you have not, it is available on YouTube, right? And that's what I definitely plan on doing during this off season. Now we have got to see all of these spring games. This is the longest part about off-season college football. Right here is just the simple fact that we don't get to see anything on the field other than clips. We got to wait till late August, week 0, man. And for us Buckeye fans, we're waiting till week 1 going up against Texas. If you're going to that game and already have your tickets, let me know that you're going to that game in the comments. Let me know. You can also comment if you're watching on X. Let me know if you're going to that Texas-Ohio State game as well. But, the team up north, here's the thing. It's a spring game. It's not really much to take away. I thought that I was going to be able to see some things from their passing game that I thought would probably be a little bit more exciting from past years, but it didn't seem that way. And, the quarterbacks, they got a ways to go, I would say. So, that team up north, they would not be that same team, starting off the season that the Buckeyes will end up seeing at the end of the season. So both teams should be playing at their best at the end of the season, which is what makes that game so amazing to me, man. You talking about when are you supposed to be playing your best football? And that's at the end of the season. Last year, that team up north, closer to the end of the season, was playing their best ball. A lot of people want to say, hey, bowl games don't matter. But, I mean, just being an honest person, that team up north went out there against Alabama, who their key guys were out there playing, and they took care of business, just looked like the better team than Alabama. So, again, you cannot discount. And, again, in that rivalry, you could throw out all the 5 stars, 4 stars. it's the game, man. So our guy Robert said, I was so happy to see Jack and Will go to such a great organization. And hey, Ron, I appreciate you saying that the Steelers is a great organization. It is. It is a great organization. But my organization has been having issues at the quarterback position. I'd say probably 3 to 5 years before Big Ben had retired. So we definitely need to do a better job at that. If we can, just let Will Howard come along slowly, develop a little bit. Hey, there's no telling where we could possibly be, man. So I'm just hoping that he gets that chance, and then also that he keeps developing. One thing that I do know about Will is he can go through his progressions. I like that. And he had been working the entire time on his, throwing mechanics, right? Especially his down the field mechanics. And, he talking about, hey, you can't overthrow JJ. I don't think you can overthrow Pickens and DK Metcalf. So, I just want to see everybody also wanted to say, oh, Will Howard was just in the space. Will Howard got to play with those NFL receivers. What are you going to do when you go to the NFL? You're going to play with NFL-type receivers, right? So I think that's like the most laziest argument, but it just goes to show that we still have casuals out here in college football, man. Now, I did ask you all, what grades do we have? Shout out our guy, Blue Wolverine, one of our first members. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Stopping by to say hello. Hey, we able to be cordial over here. It's a rivalry, man, but, it comes with respect as well. So, that's the whole point of rivalry, man. To be honest, if you actually go back and look at some of the top generals or top people in war, you will actually read what they wrote and how much they have respect for their ops, their enemies, and how much they learn, they study. That's what you have seen. I think we've both learned from each other. I would say, Bo Schembechler took a lot of Ohio and ingrained it into their culture there. So, it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. But earlier, I asked you all overall grades for Ohio State spring, and my guy Rob said B plus A minus. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go with a solid A. And I'm going to tell you why, right? In this era of the transfer portal, NIL, the simple fact that no key players entered that portal and Ohio State was able to maintain that, other than what, Hero Canoe, I would say, I think is amazing, right? The development, what you're bringing in, what Ryan Day has said today in his interview about, or not today, yesterday in his interview about this Ohio State offense, which we have been talking to you all about this whole entire time is how are you going to double team a guy like Jeremiah Smith when you got the tight ends that you have, the wide receiver core that you have, and then also the running backs that you have? You can't spare that. So I'm telling you, I've also been telling y'all since last year. I think it's the year of the Twitch Monsters. I'm really excited for this team. And, the simple fact, a lot of people thought that, hey, this wide receiver room is so deep and we don't rotate. Somebody has to be leaving. Our guy, Bryson Rogers, he went ahead, put out a tweet out. People didn't understand. He's letting you know he's staying. I think that speaks volume. These guys I just think the mentality also, right? You talk about coming off of a national championship in 2014, and you heard about, the guys was going and doing this, and, they didn't really have that hunger. But that's not what we heard. From the moment spring jumped off, these guys was talking about. We ain't did nothing. We the ones who ain't did nothing. Kenyatta Jackson is like, Jack Sawyer made that play, not me. You know, Caleb Downs said, hey, yeah, I was on that 2025 team, but we are a new team. Erase it. If we got to take the stuff out the building, take the stuff out the building. This gets an A because of the culture that Ryan Day has built. A lot of us have laughed about the culture, have made critiques about the culture and said, hey, maybe we need to make adjustments here. To be honest, Ryan Day has built a culture that can last, that can possibly sustain, and it's really up to, you know, what this team can do. I think that this team can do some really amazing things. I know that we lost, like a lot of people was like, oh, look at what you lost. Look at what you lost. We lost a lot of experience, but I don't think that the talent overall has taken a hit at all. Like, we definitely lost veterans. We lost experience. But again, like I said earlier about, you know, the Ohio State and Team Up North rivalry, playing your best ball at the end of the season. I can also go back to 2014, right? That team was a young team, young starters. Went out there, even the coaching staff, Urban Meyer, you can't say he was young, but he did not have the team prepared because he said, hey, first-time quarterback, we should have been out there knowing that Bud Foster was going to go out there and, run a bear defense. We didn't do that. So what did they do? They go implement bear beaters. There's things that we are going to have to adjust to, and it's going to be fine, right? Just hope that we're playing our best ball at the end of the season when these guys get the game reps and things that they need. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So Buckeye fans, just stick with it, man. It is definitely going to be something. Now, let's just go ahead and start off with grades on positions, right? And we might as well start off with the quarterback position because that's what everybody around the country is talking about. And as a Buckeye fan, hold on, let me get a sip of water real quick. And as a Buckeye fan, you know right now you're feeling that this season rides on one thing or maybe two things. But for those Buckeye fans that are feeling like it's riding on one thing, and that's the quarterback position, Ryan Day gave us an update on the quarterback position. And he said that, you know, going into the spring game, you know, he felt Lincoln Keenholz was the leader. And he liked what those guys were able to do in the spring game. But he also said they weren't live, you know, not many coverages that they had to worry about as well. But he liked the way Julian Sain got his start off and just has been finishing the spring strong. Again, like I have told you, Buckeye fans, what we need is for these guys to do what Will Howard did and take what they have learned this spring, implement and learn all summer, perfect it. This is where you perfect your craft, right? This summer, you perfecting everything. You going out there. If timing and chemistry is an issue, you're going and you're perfecting that. Hey, you're showing that leadership skill. Hey, I need to meet with everybody. Boom, boom, boom. We meeting at this time, this place. We getting after it. Boom. That is your job as QB1, right? It's not even just on the field. You need to be taking these guys out, right? Hey, you know, what did CJ Stroud do? Throw barbecues at the house. These guys need to be doing this all summer, showing the leadership, and then boom, you come in the fall, right? Those players, they feeling you. They gonna play a little bit harder for you. I'm telling you. So you have to be able to take command. That's what I want to see from the quarterbacks. I say right now, I get a quarterback solid. I'm gonna go solid B because again, we don't know. There's some things from Julian saying, like I told you all, I want to there's some things from Julian saying that I want to see. I want to know how he's going to be when the pressure is in his face. That was one thing that Will Howard excelled at was when the pressure was in his face, oh, he was going to cook you. And we knew it. We was saying the same thing about, Notre Dame. They talking about we playing man. Okay, play man. Y'all going to bring some blitzes too? Oh, we ready for that. We going to cook. And that's exactly what happened every time, man. So that's one thing that I want to see our quarterbacks do. Lincoln Kinghouse. A lot of people want to talk about the stats in the game. My issue with Lincoln Kinghouse, I believe I said on another show, was I need to see when he's throwing that ball, he's leading the wide receivers where they're not just having to catch the ball. They're able to catch the ball and be able to make plays, man. So, again, shout out our mod, Rob, who is telling everybody, hey, help us out, support the channel. Hit that like button and that subscribe button, man. It helps grow the channel. It's free. It's easy. And if you don't like the content that we're putting out, it's free to unsubscribe as well. But also hit that notification bell, because as this offseason continues to go, and as the camps are going to roll up, you're going to be getting a whole lot of content. Things are going to be dropping. And in that way, you're never missing a show. So shout out my guy, Ohio 7715. OHIO, man. And it does seem like going off of what is that Dev? That looks like Dev, man. What up, Dev? It does look like Lincoln will be a good backup end zone specialist. It has that, I would say, Devin Brown feel right now too. That's exactly what I believe, man. And I think he will be. But here's the thing, like you said, end zone specialist. I don't even think it has to be that, because Penn State didn't just bring Bo Pabula out in the end zone. Sometimes it was just change of pace, get a different look, get the defense worried about something else. And sometimes he'd rip it and throw it, but he was definitely dangerous with his legs. We hear about the athlete that Lincoln is. If he can do that, I mean, definitely want to see Lincoln go out there and ball. Because to be honest, I don't want Julian Sain being that runaround quarterback. If he's running around extending plays, cool. But having design runs for him, I'm really not trying to do that with Julian Sain. Just his frame is a little smaller, man, and I don't want to risk injury at all, man. IGB gone, had them boys hype. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Thank you, Doreen. I appreciate that. We do have a good channel, man. And I want to shout out my guy, Dev, man. They've been dropping content with the recruits and everything. Check that out, too. They just dropped one I'm about to check out after this show. I was prepping for this show, so I didn't get to check. They dropped it about 3-4 hours ago. So after you check us out, make sure you go over there. Check my guy Dev out at Buckeye Boys, man. Last week, they got me. I had to do the ice bucket challenge or whatever. So I did it. Shout out Riley Pettijohn. He's the one who got us all to go ahead and do it. It was for a great cause. So we talked about quarterbacks, running backs. Obviously, you could tell from Ryan Day's interview what he did. He said it was only right that we let guys know if they should go into the portal, which lets you know that they feel very confident about the running backs as well. I see people are asking about Terry. Terry doing all right, man. He hit me up. He just said he can't make it, but he'll be here for next week's show, man. Us, we family, man. Things come up. We got kids, all of that stuff. So you just never know what pops up. And my daughter got competition this weekend, so I'm having to get ready for that, man. Saturday and Sunday dance competition. Lord, man. So me and my son will be hanging out doing that. Shout out Garrison in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Hit that like button. Share. Send this. Go ahead. Send this in your group chats. I know y'all in group chats. Share to your group chats. Have everybody pull up, man. But as I was talking about the running backs, it sounds like they are very confident in what James Peoples brings. sounds like they needed to see a little bit of work from C.J. Donaldson, and they finally seen it. I believe we got to see it in that we got to see it in the spring game, right? Flat out, like that burst up the middle. You're talking about the interior of our O-line as well. I feel being the strength of our O-line this year, that man's going to be a problem going up the middle for some people if he's hitting that burst like that. And again, Lock Boys, I put out a poll. I don't know if y'all seen it about the last three running back coach that we had, starting off with Stan Drayton. Then you had Tony Alford, and then you have Coach Locke. Let me know, out of those three, which one do y'all enjoy having the best or having at Ohio State the best? A lot of people, when they think about Stan Drayton, they want to talk about Ezekiel Elliott, but I go back to Carlos Hyde and listening to what Carlos Hyde, former teammates, was saying about how they had no idea that he was like that he could do the things that he was able to do. But I mean, that's Stan Drayton. Clip went out this week as well about Stan Drayton getting ran over by Carlos Hyde. And Carlos Hyde was also Urban Meyer's first 1,000-yard running back as well. So I mean, shout out Carlos Hyde, shout out Stan Drayton. I'd probably put Stan Drayton too, but Carlos Locklin definitely gonna be my number one. And Benedict Arnold, he's last. But what Carlos Locklin is just doing with our running backs, you can see the difference. That's just my biggest thing, is just being able to see the difference in what our running backs is doing. You saw the difference immediately in Travion Henderson, which allowed him, boom, being one of the top running backs taken off the board. So shout out to Travion. Hopefully he has an amazing career, and the Patriots and Mike Vrabel go ahead, take care of him. They can't treat him like he's Derrick Henry, but hopefully they can use him in the ways that he should be able to be used. Moving on to wide receiver, Ryan Day spoke on the wide receivers. We have a lot of different skill sets. Now, I feel this wide receiver room has always had very different skill sets. You've had your speedy guys, which normally don't always work out at Ohio State, but I'm going to keep beating this drum. A lot of people just they probably not feeling it. I think that this is the year where Ohio State has to go ahead and Brian Hartline has to say, hey, we're going to rotate at least 5 wide receivers. At least. I think we have 6, but I think that that's what you're going to have to do. In the big games, you don't have to rotate, but every other one, you're going to need to start rotating these guys in more. I think Bryson Rodgers, a lot of people want to give him crap, but I say go back and watch the film. That time he had to step in for Carnell Tate. Go watch that game. Watch how many times he routed guys open. Watch how many times he did get open. And I think there was an interception on the play, or maybe Will did a check down, and if he had threw the ball to Bryson Rodgers, it's a touchdown. So I think that there's, like Ryan Day said, so many skill sets. And last year, we used the method of the time of possession. I don't think we have to do that. We don't have to do that. Put the points up on the board. Let these guys go out there, work all the kinks out, get it out. Because I'm telling you, man, one thing that I have PTSD from is when you got JSN goes down, boom, during the season, we're able to make it, right? But we're still not rotating. Other guys aren't ready. And Marv goes down. Nobody's ready to step up. And they're all keying in on Emeka Egbuka. We don't need to have those issues. We need guys that's going to be able to step up and be that difference maker right away. So that's what I want to see from the wide receiver position. I'm obviously giving the wide receiver position an A+ until proven otherwise. I don't think that there's going to be any wide receiver room better than Ohio State. And, I think the NFL have missed out and feel that they missed out on some Ohio State wide receivers. You're talking about the Michael Thomas and Terry McLaurin, and I believe that those guys, they ran so that we can have what we're having right now, bro. Because I feel like the NFL was like, no way can we let another Ohio State wide receiver like a Michael Thomas or a Terry McLaurin just continue to just not give them a chance at the first round. Why? What was the only reason? Because they don't have the statistical yards? Just go watch the film. Michael Thomas, a lot of wide receivers that was ahead of him, they couldn't even break none of the records that he was doing at all. Same thing. Terry McLaurin, go out there. He basically a captain in 1 year. Ohio State just different, man. And I don't think that wide receivers should be hindered because of stats or because of rotation. The NFL is like that. If they know how to watch film, it is what it is. And then let these guys just go off, explode so they don't have dead legs, and let them explode in the playoffs, bro. Flat out, man. Let's see what's going on in the chat. All right. Oh, they just chopping it up in the chat. See, I love our people in the chat, man. Everybody just family, man. Just keeping it light. I appreciate it, man. Love y'all. Make sure that you're hitting that like button and that subscribe button if you are here as well. And we got business to take care of. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. See what our partner Win Agency has to say about our partnership experience with us, which is on the screen. Let's discuss how you can reach your target market. Contact us at sponsorships at vocfb.com. That is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. Make sure that you're partnering with the Voice of College Football, as our reach is we everywhere, man. There is a channel for just about every team. So if you feel that's your market, just hit us up. We're in just about every market. We even have Clemson channel, Miami channel. Man, I can keep going on how many different channels we have, but we are here. Is my guy Garrison pulling up, or is he? What up, Garrison?
I just said don't bring me up. What's up, man? How we doing? What we talking about?
Check it out. What up, Garrison?
No, what's up, man? What we talking about?
Game, man. What you doing at the soccer game? How y'all are y'all winning? You losing?
No. So my sister, my younger sister is actually an athletic director at a high school around my city, and they needed help at the concession stand. So I said, yeah, why not? But then Mike, then it hit me that I'm at that age now where like the people that when I was in high school watched the people that were behind the concession stand, helping out. Like, oh, I'm that guy, and I'm like, oh shoot, I am 32, right? So yeah, but no, it was fun, man. It was a good time. Had fun, got free pizza. So what are we talking about?
Man, we just right now going through the position grades of the Buckeyes and just going through the positions. We went through quarterback, we went through running back and wide receiver. I guess we can go through tight end, man. What you think about tight end?
Best tight end group at Ohio State in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, you start with Max Clare. I mean, look, he's honestly this is probably one of the better tight ends. I think he's going to be. I think Jeremy Ruckert could have been him. I think Jeremy Ruckert could have gotten 1,000-yard season if we really wanted to get him one.
Facts.
But I think Max Clare is that same type of player. I don't think he's going to get that, but I think he'll be third in our team in like receptions and yards. He's a really good blocker also. I mean, and the thing is that now, I mean, you've talked about this, Mike. You've said this plenty of times now. It's going to be really hard for teams to bracket Jeremiah. it is going to be damn near impossible with Max Clare on the field, everyone else that we have. Guys like Tate, Ennis. So, yeah, him, Will Kamarick, he's injured right now, correct?
Yeah.
So, we'll
But
see
they're
what happens.
expecting him to be. I think they're expecting him to be back by during the season. So.
Okay. Well, no, but I think he's a quality football player. And then Jelani, he's one of the guys that I took from the spring game that I was impressed by simply because I saw his hands. I wanted to see if the ball was thrown his way, can he put his hands like don't body catch it, put your hands out there like you're supposed to and catch the ball like a wide receiver, and he did that. On top of that, Jelani I think is already a very good run blocker. So if he can put it together, man, I mean, like for he's a defensive end. Like he's literally a defensive end. Size wise, taller than too. So
that's the thing, man. Is this tight
and
end
I'm
room?
sorry, Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. And then the younger guys like license kid. I don't want to forget his name.
Nate Rogers.
Not Nate Roberts. The other one.
Oh, you
LeBlanc.
talking about LeBlanc? Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy to see him get on the field, see him catch the ball.
Yeah.
Good hands. So he looks slim out there, but he's probably like a wide receiver, tight end hybrid type of guy.
But here's my thing, man. Like I said, it's just going to be mismatches all over the field. I feel like whether the Buckeyes are in 12 personnel, heck, I think they can go 13, man. And what you gonna do? Who's gonna guard Jelani and Will K? You go 13 personnel. Like jump ball with who?
No,
so that's why I give this group an A. Before we move on, shout out to our guy Blue Wolverine for the 5. What is your favorite memorabilia you own?
Of Ohio State or just sports?
I'm guessing that is just, I guess, memorabilia of all. I'll say my favorite one, which I gotta find it, man. I probably have it buried somewhere, but one of my favorite ones is I say Ohio State wise was my signed Ted Ginn. I got it signed. He had a banquet for the All American game.
I'm
I got that signed.
I'm so jealous of you, Mike.
I got that.
I'm so jealous of you, Mike.
Hey, I was in Cleveland, so and then my
look,
was really good.
Ted Ginn's your favorite Buckeye, bro.
Yeah. My my dad, he's Glenville alum, and then my uncle's good friends with Ted Ginn Sr. So that's how I was able to get that. And then I say like childhood, man, that one got ruined. But I had a Kenny Lofton signed, like framed picture and everything. Man, it got ruined. Yeah, but that was one of my favorite as a kid because I was like one of the biggest Kenny Lofton fans ever, bro.
Mm-hmm. So I got 2 also. One is, and I haven't seen. I know I still have it because I saw it a few times in the last month or so, actually. But my dad keeps it in our family safe. I have my uncle, Country. He gave me a Kobe Bryant rookie card.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I'm a big Bron fan, but that rookie Kobe card, I love that card.
The GOAT.
And then what's usually in my background, that bobblehead. That's a Mel Blount bobblehead signed by him. Gene Blunt. When I was a kid, he went to my church, and he's from Florida, but that's his cousin. So he got that for me and then gave it to me. So yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, Blue Wolverine, you heard our favorite memorabilia you own. Let us know what yours is in the comments. What memorabilia do you own that is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And
you know what I will get signed one day, Mike? I have a pick. So my freshman year of college, my sophomore year of college, I came down to see my sister compete. What's up, Johnny? To see my sister compete for the long jump and state championships. And no one noticed who this person was in the crowd in a Minnesota shirt because his nephew was going to go play there. It was
Mhm.
Braylon Edwards. So I went down there, got a picture with him. I have a picture of Braylon Edwards while he's wearing a Minnesota shirt. Yeah.
Man, I got a funny moment. I was like, I was in, big Steelers fan growing up,
Mhm.
and I was going to this. I went to my aunt. She sold Mary Kay, and this lady happened to
I remember
be,
those days of the pink.
bro. And I happened to go to this thing helping my auntie out, bro. And this lady
Mhm.
told me she was Dennis Northcutt's sister, bro. And I gave her hell, bro. I can't even lie. I was not a Dennis Northcutt fan, bro. I'm like, your
I wasn't
brother's
either.
soft. I
I
was like,
wasn't
your
either.
brother's soft. He ain't gonna never take a hit. He'll run out of bounds, but he'll run out of. That man was the
That's
scariest
disrespectful,
football
Mike.
player I ever seen in my life, bro.
That's disrespectful.
I was a bad little kid. Yeah,
No, bro.
but
No, it's funny. Devin Gardner still has me blocked today. When he threw that interception to lose the game, I went on
the
Twitter
Tyvus Powell.
and man, I let him have it. Just like 20 straight tweets. I've been blocked ever since.
Oh yeah. 20 straight tweets. Yeah, you deserve that.
Bro, he
You
hey, he
deserve
shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have thrown that pick.
that. You deserve that. All right, Garrett. So you got time to go through any more positions or?
Yeah, I'm chilling now. What's up?
All right, we got O line, man. What grade would you give the offensive line as
Oh,
a
by the way,
whole?
I'm sorry. The grade for the tight end, A plus. O line, I'm at a B plus right now. At a B plus, but we're about a .001 from the A minus,
Right.
and that's simply I just need to see our tackles.
Facts.
That's well, you know what, and you know what? I think the coaches actually trust Anianwa because like he slotted there. I guess right now, it's honestly Philip Daniels and Tegra. That's all. That's all I care about now.
Okay. Going into last season, overall, what grade from the spring last season? What overall grade would you have gave the offensive line?
Like in hindsight,
No, like after seeing
oh,
I mean
going into
you
this,
because
going into the season,
going in because you knew what you had in
I'll probably
Josh
be around like
Fryer,
this.
Josh Simmons, you got Donovan Jackson, you had Seth, and then all you had to figure out was really you all you had because we already had saw that Fryer got better, and then all you had to see was the right guard. So
But I was around a C plus B minus.
wow,
I think this
see.
old, but that was until I knew. But this O line, I think they're gonna be better.
All right. So here's my thing. If you're saying C minus because of depth
No,
going into that
I'm not talking about.
last
I'm not
year,
talking about last year's.
yeah, see me, I would have said
Oh,
last
C plus
year,
B minus.
yeah,
Got it.
I could see that going into last year because of the depth. This year, bro, I don't think I'm even worried about depth. The way that Ryan Day spoke
Mhm.
on training these guys for two positions, like these guys aren't just learning one position, they all are now having to learn two positions. And how confident he sounds that the guys responding to that. Man, I'm more confident about this O line going into this year than I am last year for some odd reason. Like I
Yeah, I'm
said,
right with you.
I'm way confident in that interior O line or whatever. We already know that's a national championship interior O line. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this, man. I'm really excited about this. Uh, you said you give them a B plus. I give them B plus as well.
But
It's just the
that
tackles,
B plus
man.
can turn to an A real quick. It can
Yeah,
turn to
I
an A
mean,
real
and that's
quick.
the thing. And that's the thing. Like, and I know some people are like, "Hey, what's going on with the Armstrong
Mhm.
twins or whatever?" Because they're hearing the resurgence of Carter Lowe. But like I said, I think that I was waiting on those guys junior and senior year for those guys, right? I knew that. And then also, I have no issue with Carter Lowe's going to be our left tackle one day, and then the other Armstrong being our right tackle, another, on the other side. Also, I know that we have depth. And then again, when you're learning those two positions and the Armstrong that was working to be the tackle, his feet are quick. So we had no issues moving the tackle.
Is that Devontae?
Yeah, I always get their names confused, so I'm not sure.
I think Devontae is the tackle and Deontay is the guard, I think.
Okay.
I think so.
But here's my thing. Those feet, he has very athletic feet, and moving him to guard, I still think it would keep our offensive line very athletic and be able to do all the things that we needed to do. Because I was just like watching back the way we were counters or pulling, just things like that was amazing, man. So yeah, B+ for the O-line.
I agree with you with the depth. Carter Lowe, I think they know he's going to start as soon as, because Anianwa, he's gone after this season. I think Carter Lowe has a spot already. That's his spot next season. I think that's already slotted. I was thinking about this, actually probably either last night or this morning, Mike, about the O-line. This just popped in my head. Outside of Anianwa, everyone else in that O-line can return or has to. Like I thought, because
they don't have to, like Carson.
They don't have
Hickman,
to,
man.
No, they don't have to. But I would assume, like, if Anianwa left, right, or once he leaves because he has to. I mean, that's Saravel, Carter Lowe, or Philip Daniels right in the slot. Hinsman's a junior right now. Montgomery's a redshirt sophomore. Taggart a junior.
You just never know. Here's my thing. After the Luke Weipler and the Luke Weipler and the Tommy Togiai, like, because I was expecting both of those guys like return, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna be nasty the following year, right? And then they just bounce. So I can't count. I can't count on that. What I would count on is losing at least 2 to 3. Is what I would say. Like, yeah, we know we're losing that 1 for sure, but I'm at least go ahead and say 2 and 3.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I do believe that you're correct about the depth behind them with the Armstrong twins. I think they're gonna be good players. I was looking more like you towards their senior year, but if they get there their junior year, that's good. I think it's a good thing. I have a lot of faith in guys like West Michigan. My guy, I don't forget his name. He's right behind Montgomery. Gabe Van Sickle. I think he's gonna be really good. When you guys are watching Jason Moore get manhandled out there, that was him doing it. That was him that put him on his butt. So I think he's gonna be a really good player. I mean, you look at the class right now that Tyler Bowen is creating. I think depth isn't gonna be a problem at Ohio State. Not at O-line. It's not right now.
He about to fix that quick. He ain't playing no game. Shout out Tyler Bowen. And also, so let's go ahead and get into defense. Let's just start off with the defensive line, man. I'm going to just say it. With the pickup of Bo Atkinson, I think that is huge for Ohio State. The one question was, do we have another defensive end on the other side of Kenyatta Jackson who can hold up in the rush game, right? Now I feel like we have that. And I also feel like we have edge depth as well, the way that we're able to be multiple with Matt P. So D-line, edge and stuff, I feel good. I would say the D tackle is still a concern. So I'm going to say C+ right now, maybe B-. B-. Let's go B-.
That D tackle depth really hurts. I will say I'm a trust in Ryan Day. I don't think he saw anything in the portal that was worth getting, and I truly don't think that he sees anything that's worth getting. But it's still a concern. I think our top 2 guys, McDonald and Edric, cool. But after that, it's a concern because you don't want those guys tiring out. On the edge, I think there's a lot of talent, but we gotta see it. You know, I can believe CJ Hicks is gonna be really good off the edge. I can believe that guys like Zion Grady can make a crazy jump, like things like that. I want to believe, but I gotta see it. I'm around where you are, a B, but I do think the first five guys, including Bo, very good.
Yeah, here's my thing. Our guy Rob said if we get Kirkland, I give it a solid A. I wouldn't give it a solid A. I'd say I move it probably up to like a B plus because here's the thing. This is what I know, right? Is our D tackles have a little experience, but they don't have starter experience. The guys behind them, right? Like Tyron Malone, he got a little bit. He don't got as much experience. I won't say that he has as much experience because we didn't count on him as much as we did at K-Mac, as much as we did in Edric, right? So I wouldn't put him up there. Those guys are the guys where I'm saying, you know, as the season goes along, they should be getting better. Those are those guys, right? Now, like our guy Rob said, you add in Kirkland, I believe you have that. You have a guy who now where you don't have to worry on the K-Mac, right? Playing so many snaps. You can sub him out, you know, but you still got to get your Jason Moores of the world. This dude is he has the measurables to be a freak. There's no reason he should be getting put up off his feet. It's his time, man. I don't know what else to say. The guy should be an Iron Buckeye. But I'll say this: the guy's in year 3, year 4? It took Steve Miller year 5, right? So I mean, and what did he do against Alabama? Interception, touchdown, baby. So you just never know when it clicks. Same thing with shout out our guy Curtis Grant. Same thing. He was saying, man, they bringing in this 5-star freshman, right? Talking about he fighting for starting rep. That lit a fire in him, right? Pushed him to be better, you know? But he also helped Raekwon McMillan along. Sometimes it just takes these guys a minute for them to tap into their potential because we're talking about 2 players who were highly ranked but still took till their 5th year or last year, right? So, I mean, it happens with some guys. Some guys, it just don't click. Same thing. I mean, CJ Hicks, right? I mean, Ryan Day still continues to rave about CJ Hicks' progression.
Mm-hmm.
He's just ready to see it.
I think he's gonna be a monster. I really do. Yeah, man. And again, I think about those early clips of Matt Patricia and him. They're not going to keep talking about him like this, kind of like on the other side. For 2 years now, Ryan Day is always talking about Brandon Ennis. Eventually, I think there's a reason why they're talking about guys like CJ Hicks like that. They know they're going to go in that field and do their thing. So, but yeah,
I think the difference.
Good.
You know, shout out my guy Juck, right? Part of Buckeye Brigade. Juck was saying it's hard to get on the CJ Hicks hype train because he's been hyped up just about every year, every offseason. But I've always felt the beat was the one who was hyping it up, right? And then us as fans was hyping it up just because of him being a 5-star, him being an athlete and everything, right?
Out of Ohio.
Yeah, out of Ohio, all of that. Now, who's hyping him up? It's not us. It's not the beat.
It's the coaches.
It's the coach. Exactly. So, I mean, I think that this is a different type of hype. So, really excited to see what our defensive line can do. And here's the thing, Matt Patricia, as our D-line continues to get better, he's supposed to be that type of coach who's supposed to be multiple enough to be able to limit those weaknesses, right? So I am eager to see how he dials up and limit those weaknesses. I mean, I remember when it was our weakness in 2022, but hey, I mean, and our guy Cam, he thought he was like, no, 2022. He was like, we had Tyleek Williams was out there starring and stuff. I went back, watched the tape. Nah, them guys was missing.
Nope.
We had the Jerron Kays and Tyron Vincents of the
Vincent's,
world.
yeah.
Bro. Yeah, so I mean, you know, I went back, I looked at it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, like, we didn't have the D tackles that y'all thought that we had out there. And this year, I think that we are better than we were in 2022. So it's up to Matt Patricia to make sure that he don't show those weaknesses and that you know, he's able to move forward. Let's go to the linebacker room, Garrison. What you think about that linebacker room?
I would like if I was just simply saying our first two guys, Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, off the rip, I'm going A. After that, though, I'll bring it down towards more of a B. And again, it's because this is a very young team. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of talent. Like Riley Pettyjohn is in our linebacker room. I believe Riley Pettyjohn can start at 134 of 134 programs in college football. Like if if Arvell Reese being the freakish athlete and Sonny Styles being the freakish athletes weren't there at Ohio State, Riley Pettyjohn would be starting at Ohio State. But we still got to see it. You know, guys like him, Peyton. We just got to wait and see. Alford, another freak linebacker we have. But you know, could start anywhere else. But this is I would say it's a B with A to A plus potential. But we gotta see it. Just gotta see it.
Hold on, you giving it a solid B?
Mike, I'm talking this up like it's an A. I know I am, but
I gotta give it a solid A, man. It's
all right. You know what? I'm switching it then. All right, cool. If you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I gotta give it a solid A. I seen what I needed to see from Sonny, right? As the year went on towards when the playoffs, we could talk about the wheel route that he got on Texas, but what I wanted to see was the linebacker instincts come up and show, right? I wanted to see him trigger like a linebacker, not like a safety, right? And to be honest, in the spring, I seen that. I seen him, how quick he's reading things. So shout out Sonny Styles. I seen it. Also, the fact that what everybody says, it's not the B. It sounds like the coaches did not want this secret to get out about Arvell Reese and the many different things that he is able to do and just how versatile. You talk about they've made reference of Sonny Styles coming off the edge. So just what he's able to do as a linebacker and then his versatility of that. You talking about the same thing with Arvell Reese, his versatility in that. Then you got guys like what's his name? Peyton Pierce. And then off talent alone, like Garrison was saying, Riley Pettyjohn, TJ Alford, and here's the thing. Those guys get out there. I don't think I'm having an issue if I see a Riley or a TJ out there because you know what Matt should be doing? It's just telling them guys to pin their ears back and go get ball. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think, here's my thing. If you thought that was Steel Chambers and Tommy Eichenberg when they was All-Americans and all Big Ten and when they was pinning their ears back, I know I keep saying this, but these are different style athletes who are just way more twisted up, just way more athletic. And if you thought the Tommy and Steel pinning their ears back was amazing, just wait till these guys do it, bro. Like, I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. Shout out our guy Cliff, said just stopping by to say, hey, football. Yeah, man. Hey, everybody love football. Can't get enough football. Football is king, man.
So, hey, Mike, man. I just real quick. I think having James Laurinaitis and that leading that room Like I'm like, dude, I think our linebackers are getting back to looking like a Raekwon McMillan type of guy. Getting back to looking like guys like what
Jerome
James used to
Baker.
like, what AJ used to like, big guys. But like AJ Hawk was a mean athlete. Like, just in case anybody forgot, AJ Hawk leads the Green Bay Packers in tackles, the franchise. Like, I think we're getting back to that, and like I think Sonny moving down from safety, and again, like you said, Mike, that was his first year playing linebacker, so we haven't even seen his peak yet. That's all I'm saying, man. Just and shout out to Jake Butt. He said this is these two guys. That's the most athletic linebacker duo in college football.
I hate to do this, but I got to do it. It's something about here's my thing. If Matt P understands the athletes, because this was one of my criticisms about Jim Knowles and I think I was on record saying this as well, was I didn't feel like he always understood the level of athletes that he had, right? And I mean, to that credit, Ryan Day even said it, right? Like, This is Ohio State. You don't have to do all of this other stuff that you was doing. This is Ohio State. These are different type of athletes. And I just feel like Jim Knowles never really got to that. You see former players who are now gone to NFL teams who have spoke about, Jim Knowles in that scheme. Denzel Burt, Lathan Ransom, and then also like Tyleek Williams going in the first round. And I think one of the reasons why he was able to go in the first round is because of what he did. He said teams wanted to know about my pass rush moves because they didn't know if I had that capability because our scheme did not allow it. So I had to go to and show them and break down and break up some highlight clips of us doing pass drills. And then when they saw that, they had no worries. So my thing is if Matt P can expose these guys like skill sets and put that on display for the world to see like it should be, this defense can be really scary by the season end, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's I truly believe that what we have right now, especially like when I go to our D line, especially is why we need a guy like Matt Patricia. We're a little like Bo is undersized, right? If he was to play defensive tackle, but say if we did want to go through 3-4, we have the option of going, doing that with him. And I mean, I think Matt Patricia, I think he's going to be better than Jim Knowles. Some people are going to be mad at me for saying that. I don't care. Even though I went through Terry trolling me for an hour. I went through bending back to. I
was trying to tell you.
It took me 10 minutes to realize he was trolling me, and now I was pissed by that time. Thank you, Terry. Love you, brother. But I told someone this, man. I said, dude, when I listen to Matt Patricia talk defense with the media, it sounds a little bit more NFL-ish. Let's put it that way, okay? A little bit more professional. How about we say it that way? Now, and Jim, I love Jim. I think he's a legend. But again, he's a 3-time Super Bowl winner. Those are his accolades, Mike. As much as people like to hate on him, those are his accolades. So
I feel you.
So are you putting DBs together? Or are you going corner safety?
Let's just put DBs together, man. Because to be honest, I feel like it should be as a whole, especially with Ryan Day talking about these guys having to learn 2 positions, right? And you got safeties probably getting work as cornerbacks so that they can work on their man-to-man skills. I think that we are going to probably see a little bit more man-to-man with this Matt P defense. So, I mean, I'm really excited. I want to put the DBs together, and when you got a Caleb Downs back there, I think that we had Denzel Burke. Appreciate his experience, but talent-wise, I think that you get better with the Jermaine Matthews.
Mike, why you say it like that, dude?
What? Here's my man. I'm just being honest, bro. Like I feel like Jermaine Matthews' ceiling is higher than Denzel Burke. I'm just being honest, man. I just feel
No,
like
I know.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to slight my guy Denzel, man. I hope that again, maybe it was Jim knows, hopefully that he can just focus. He ain't got to focus on school. He can focus on his craft. And shoot, he might. I'm going to tell you this. I've been talking to some guys, and I think that there's a lot of the Buckeye players on defense that went to the NFL who might have better NFL careers than they had college careers. JTT being one of them.
Oh, no, I think JTT is going to – so what I've told a lot of the T-Ton fans, I said Rashawn Gary for you guys is what JTT is. That's who he is. JTT is a freak athlete. He was underused and wasn't correctly used while at Ohio State. He wasn't.
Wow.
He was. I mean, just you guys are talking about it, Mike, at the space. Was it Baron Browning? You guys said. Somebody
said.
Or that wasn't used the correct way.
Somebody. I mean, we've talked about the Baron Browning not being used right at Ohio State.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I saw a lot of people, talking about. I mean, even like Johnny Olden, he said Jack Sawyer, like JTT before Jack Sawyer. I mean, yeah, yeah. I'm like, I think people forget. I saw JTT have the second greatest defensive game I've ever seen in my life, behind Ndamukong Suh against Texas. That was like that. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That's that's his peak. So,
I want to talk. Our guy Cliff said Patricia was a failure with the Lions in a long line of failures, but I get you. Maybe he's a better fit as a DC, and that's the thing, Cliff. I mean, here's the thing: is to say that Matt Patricia will not be good at Ohio State as a defensive coordinator is saying that he's going to be the anomaly in college football for former NFL coaches and analysts that have came to college, right? Like you're saying that he's going to be the one, like especially at top programs. I could use like Jeff Hafley. He wasn't a DC before he came to college. Then he took one of the worst defenses in Ohio State history and made them number one. I can also go back. Same thing. There were not a lot of beautiful things said about your current DC, right? About what he was doing in the NFL. I think your defense was one of the top. One thing that we said is your defense kept you in a lot of games. Who else was? Ryan Day. Ryan Day came from the NFL. I mean, we could keep going through this, like how these NFL guys come down here and they adjust well to college. And again, but here's my thing. The players are going to run through a wall for Matt P. The players in Detroit were not going to run through a wall for Matt P because he talked about how his arrogance was, the way he talked to the guys. Like,
Mike, hold up. Let me say this real quick. As the Buckeye fan who just happens to be a Michigander, let me say this real quick about the Lions organization and Lions fans when they talk about Matt Patricia. They can't sit here and act like the rest of their coaches weren't shitty. Like it ain't the coach. It's the organization. It's the same way. Like for a long time when I was a kid, Mike, my dad told me two things of all time. Michigan State will always look down at their jerseys at the end of a game and remind themselves of who they are and lose. And then he told me the Lions will always ruin a quarterback. So I like Joey Harrington. I didn't like the Lions just started being good. Let's not get this it ain't just Matt Patricia.
Quarterback left and won a ring.
Yeah, made the Hall of Fame because of that. Because he left, made the Hall of Fame. So listen, man, Matt Patricia. And again, we're not asking him to be our head coach.
I mean, Detroit destroyed one of the best wide receivers that the game has ever seen.
They made him stop liking football.
So I mean, I'll just say this, man. I think that if you're waiting or expecting Matt P to fail, or you don't put those tweets out,
Ain't gonna happen.
just go ahead and delete them, man. I ain't even gonna be mad at this. As long as you delete them before the football season starts, then hey, I give you a pass on that. Cause like
Mike, I'm
I
on TJ's
understand,
head. I'm on his head by the end of the season.
Cause my thing is, it's a casual take, right? Or it's just you trolling, right? Like sometimes just say you trolling, so we know, just like okay, we just put you in the peanut gallery and not take you serious, right? But I mean, I honestly believe this secondary is going to have more turnovers. Like you're already hearing about the guys getting their hands on the balls. To be honest, in the spring game, you've seen the guys actually look. Right now, you have Coach Walk guys in there. You have guys that are actually playing in phase, which I don't feel like we've really been having, which I'm saying is going to allow guys to make more turnovers. I think the Buckeyes are going to have more turnovers than they've had the past few years under Jim Knowles from the secondary.
And let's be clear. Since Jim Knowles has been at Ohio State has not been a blitzing defense. And I mean, we barely blitz. So I know Matt Patricia is going to blitz a little bit more because that's an NFL tendency to do so. And I'm really interested to see what we do, Mike. I agree with you. I think we're going to force a lot of turnovers, man. A lot of them. I think they're going to get a lot of rushers. I think we're going to show a lot of different things in the front seven. I think our secondary, I would give it an A.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm lying. I'll give it A+. Because at the end of the day, Ignosen is a top 20 corner in college football. I think Jermaine Matthews will be seen as a top 10 to 15 guy by the end of the season. After them, Devin Sanchez, I know what he is. I know what he is. I can't wait to see what he grows to be. Aaron Scott, West, I think those boys can play. West is the guy to watch. I think he breaks I bet people are going to see it. We're going to see him a lot more than people think. Bryce West, really good football player. In the secondary, Caleb Downs is an A+ by himself, like a 4.5 on the grade GPA scale. After that, I think there's a lot of guys like Malik and McLean. We gotta see them, but I think they can be really good football players for us. In that, I'm also going to add. I'm going to bring up Lorenzo Styles. I think Lorenzo is going to start at the nickel spot for us this season, early on. I think he's going to, and it's because he's a really good athlete. I think the coaches trust him because he played a lot last season, especially at the end of the season. He played a lot in some important games, and there's time to let those guys develop and come in and spare time, not in spare time, but in waves. But I think Lorenzo, I think that's his spot. I have no insight on that. No one's told me that. I just have a really good feeling about it because I think he's a good football player. So,
yeah, I agree, man. I think that this team is going to shock a lot of people, and I think that people are going to finally find out and understand what we've been saying when us at Best Damn Media. When we broke down the transition from Urban to Ryan, because everybody's like, oh, look what y'all did in 2019 and all of this, but nobody wanted to talk about the details, right? Nobody wanted to talk about the depth. Nobody wanted to talk about some of those players that Urban had left us with that, honestly, they didn't hit, right? So I'm really excited about this. I put a poll in the chat. Make sure that you go vote on that poll. Will Ohio State's defense be better in 2025? You have the options of yes, no way, crazy thinking, and way better. So Make sure you go hit those polls up. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. Garrison, man, give me for this coaching staff. Let's go ahead and grade this coaching staff. Overall, how are we grading now?
I think it's an A+ off-season staff in terms of continuity, in terms of like for people that don't know, something like a small example like Coach Walt used to coach with Matt Patricia way back at Syracuse, and Coach Walt talked about how the language that he uses for his DBs is still is in the same stuff that Matt Patricia still uses. Like things like the intricate things like that. I think that Ryan Day paid attention to. I think all these guys are good recruiters. I think Matt Patricia is going to be, at first I didn't know if he was going to be a good recruiter or not because he's come from the NFL, but it sounds like he's really happy. I think it's because some of these NFL guys some of them don't always come to an Ohio State where they have their hand in any pool of talent that they want. He doesn't have to worry about draft picks, owners, and a head coach picking for him. Matt Patricia can go out there to anywhere he wants to go and knock on a door, show his 3 Super Bowl rings. He said he wants to get out there and recruit, which made me happy. So you look at things like that. James Laurinaitis talked about him already. Larry Johnson, listen, at the end of the day, yes, do we want Larry to get those top tier, like I'm talking like those top 3 defensive end, top 3 defensive tackles? Yes. But at the end of the day, he's still top 5 in recruiting in his position. Because I know we argued about that, Mike, and like you are correct. He hasn't been getting the JTTs. He hasn't been getting the Chase Youngs. He hasn't been getting the Jack Sawyers. He's getting them damn well drafted. But he's not. But yes, you are correct in that. So
but here's what like our guy Terry was saying is like a lot of people are on Jim Knowles, and shout out our guy Terry.
Yep.
Be back next week. Is this proof of concept, right? So since 2021, right? Or since 2020, Larry had to deal with a Kerry Coons defense that had no idea. So that's 2020, 2021, right? Mm-hmm. Now you have landed a Jack Sawyer and a JTT basically off of no proof of concept. You just on hopes and dreams, really, right?
Yep.
Now that's how same way you got Caden Curry, King out of Jackson. Jim Knowles was always saying his defense is a safety-driven defense. It was made for linebackers in that jack position. Was not made for defensive ends. So that's another thing.
So Mike, Big 12 football.
I mean, now here's the thing. Matt P said he raved about Larry Johnson in his drill work. Matt P has seen some of the best drill work, some of the best D-line. You go back and you talk about the Patriots defense and what
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you go back and you look at that, like he's seen it, right? Mm-hmm. So he's bragging about Larry Johnson.
Right.
If Larry Johnson and his DNs go off this year,
it's a wrap.
Then it's like, whoa, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Now everybody's going to say,
we got to reassess.
Yeah. Now, here's my thing. I've always said, I don't think LJ has an issue with, development, right? It's the recruiting part. Now, proof of concept definitely hurts because there's no proof of saying, hey, how I can show your skill set to be better because we really didn't do it with Jack Sawyer and JTT until the last 4 games, which probably hurt them in the draft, right? Yeah. Now you go out and you show this. The one thing that Larry I think has to adjust to is understanding recruiting is 24/7. That's the other thing. Because if you have the development and you show that this year, your only adjustment now is realizing recruiting is 24/7. Larry, I understand you're an old head. You want to hit the pillow at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be able to do that. Gonna have to stay up till 11:30 one night.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go be able to stay up at 11:30. Hey, maybe have to stay up past midnight, you know, at the deadline, so you could be one of them first coaches, right?
Yeah.
So those are the different things, and that's why I say I wouldn't mind him being an analyst, still being able to be hands-on, develop the guys, and let a young guy worry about that and staying up all night and all of that crap. But Larry Johnson, I still believe, is one of the top D-line coaches. And if Matt P defense can show that, it's going to be scary hours out here for people in college football. And all I'm going to say is flip, because I do think that Ohio State – I do think that Ohio State, because that's one thing that we as Ohio State fans, like, everybody always flipping from us. Why we don't never flip nobody? I do think that that's coming. It's coming.
And then, so I'll give them an A. Offensively, I'm at a B+ right now. B. I'll say B. In terms of just listen. As long as Ryan Day is the head coach at Ohio State, offense is something I will never give a damn about. I believe as long as Ryan Day is my coach, touchdowns will be scored. Kyle McCord threw 34 touchdowns. Touchdowns will be scored. But there's a new play caller, so I have to be fair about that. I gotta be honest about that. I gotta see him. I trust BH. I think Harline is gonna be the guy. I don't think you get a sleeve like that if you're not gonna be the guy. Like you don't get a tattoo, Mike. You don't get a tattoo sleeve like that as a coordinator in college. And if you ain't really about to, so because he's about to be a head coach, then let's just be honest here. So there's that. Tyler Bowen, his specialty is the run game. When he's been an OC, the pass game struggles, but that's not what he's doing it for. And when they said Ryan Day BH talked about, and Hartline brought him up and said, hey, have him as a run game coordinator. That's what made Hartline happy. He said, yeah, we need a guy like him. We need him. And at West Virginia and Penn State, the run game flourished under him. So there's that. And the fact that Tyler Bowen's been a recruiting coordinator at Penn State for years. So
I'm gonna go A on the coach, coaching staff, bro. I'm going A. And to be honest, the only reason, I don't know how. I'm like, bro, I don't know how you're not going A, because
my thing
is this: screw Brian Hartline as the offensive coordinator. Regardless, he is the number one wide receiver coach hands down. Ever. So ain't nobody touching that. Also, what he's putting on the field, and then the simple fact that you got a guy like Ryan Day out here talking about Monty Graham might have to get out here. Freshman, shout out Brian Hartline. So I give the offensive staff an A, and the only reason I'm not giving an A+ is Justin Fry proved to me that he can develop.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I know. Yeah, I need to know that Tyler Bowman, from everything I'm hearing, is good, but I need to see it. That's the only thing, and because I don't know what the tackles is. I know, everybody always wants to talk about Paris Johnson was going to be all this. Paris Johnson had 1 year offensive tackle to work. He spent most of his time at guard at Ohio State and had 1 year to work at offensive tackle.
Was it 2020 he played 4 tackles?
Bro, for Justin Fry to put him that high and for him to look the way he did with just 1 year, I don't think that people understand that level of development. That's why Justin Fry is in the NFL. That's elite development. Damn sucked as a recruiter when he came to high school, but damn it, that man could damn develop. So
DeJuan Jones,
bruh, shit.
Hey, listen, saying, bro. He was a good line coach. We gave him we gave him some help
for sure.
And so, I also want to point this out. Ryan Day, this is at the end of the day, that the offense has his it has his aura around it, right? Like he got to learn under Chip last year, but it's I think Brian BH is going to lean more towards a pass game, which means he's probably going to use a lot of Ryan Day's concepts. I think that the overall coaching deserves an A off the fact of this. Ryan Day's been head coach for 6 years now. He is currently 30 wins away from making sure that he makes it to College Football Hall of Fame. Because you at least need 100 wins, 10 years of coaching, and win 60% of your games.
He has doesn't he have the best
second
record?
Best win percentage of all time?
Second best?
Second best. Like, listen, when we I have this discussion on the show on Monday, Mike, and I talked about like Doreen, she disagrees with me, and I respect that, because she has to do better in the game, right, to be considered a great coach. But I said, guys, like he's already slotted into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
he's already slotted,
and he might be the youngest coach to do it,
bro. Second winningest coach of all time. For those, and you had to qualify that. So after like 5 years or how many 70 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I remind people. I remind people we are living in the golden era of college. We've been living in the golden era of Ohio State football for the last quarter century, and for some odd, and Mike, I don't know. I think you brought this up earlier, and I kind of like, what Mike? One of these days. Mike, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this off. What we can do. All right. We'll talk about this off. I have an idea, but what we get talk about the because a lot of people have hated on me for saying this, but I told people that before the championship, I said Ryan Day has his program in a better place than where Urban left it in. And a lot of people came at me about that.
No way.
And people came at you about that because some.
Well, yeah, people did go.
Yeah. Because y'all talked about that on Best Damn Media. Y'all talked about it. And I remember when you guys talked about it, I thought about it that day. I said, oh, no. And I put it out there too. I said, no, they're right. And I'm like, I think people don't understand that, especially when you talk about a guy like Ryan Day, who has already said that he wants to stay here until he gets his second chip. He said he wants that second championship. He wants it.
Bro, I mean, I want to say Ryan Day lost.
Bro.
He lost his first unranked game. He lost his first unranked game to the team up north, for one. At least it's a rivalry game. I give him that. Can't say the same thing about Urban Meyer. Also, we have never, under Ryan Day, we have never been embarrassed on a national stage to 31-0 to where the college football committee – like, I don't think people understand how much that 31-0 hurt us from getting in other college football playoffs, even though we had just lost one game and stuff like that, bro. Like,
like Wolverine fans that be like, oh no, that was your guys' most embarrassing loss. I said you weren't there. You weren't there when we lost 31-0. Then you weren't there for that. Because and Mike is like, man.
I think if Ryan Day, I'll tell you this, Day 1K. If Ryan Day gets another national championship and then he finishes off with the rivalry at 500,
I'll tell lies.
He's getting a statue and would deserve a statue.
And they're calling him the greatest Ohio State coach of all time.
Will have to be. And he did it in one of the hardest errors. He would have did it in one of the hardest errors.
And Mike, you know what's funny? By the way, just random fact. Ryan Day is the only Ohio State coach with, I think, 2 Rose Bowl wins. He's the only Ohio State coach with 2 Rose Bowl wins. Like, there's random things like that, bro. I'm like, and trust me, he deserves the criticism that he gets. He has deserved a lot of it. Maybe not as hard, but he deserved this. But man, when that championship, Mike, that championship helped things, don't it? It help you see a little.
But I mean, like I have said, Ryan Day was a young head coach who was learning on the fly, but also he didn't have the opportunities of the Nick Sabans and the Urban Meyers or whatever, who got to learn on smaller stages or whatever, and then got to move to the bigger stage, right? But I'll tell you this, another thing that Ryan Day had to do, he had to come in, then he had to deal with the transfer portal. Then he had to deal with NIL and all of this other stuff. Then he had to deal with COVID. Like
easy.
So it's like, as he's learning how to be a first-time head coach, he had to learn how to navigate this. And so, like
navigate
you said,
the fan, hey, Mike, navigate the fan base.
Yeah, and a lot of this, it's a first-time head coach, man. And a lot of this stuff, yes, warranted. The team up north game, some of those decisions. But we'll like I said, we'll see if that talk that he had with the team and with some of his family members actually worked. So dang, is that my Alexa going off? Okay. All right, but Garrison, I'm gonna get us out of here. We got the Buckeye Brigade every other Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So that means this Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up. So if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you'll know when we go live. We'll have a whole game here. That's Tuesdays. Mondays and Thursdays, we got Garrison and Ryan doing Ohio State Primetime Live as well.
And actually, it'll just be me for the next few weeks because he's on vacation. So after that 3 weeks, actually, Mike, I'll probably have you and Terry join me on a few social.
I might pull up.
Mike. I
might pull up on a Monday.
What are you doing tomorrow? You busy tomorrow at 8?
Yeah. Thursdays is out of there, man.
Thursdays out of there.
Got gymnastics and all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. You did tell me that. I know that.
Thursdays out of there. But Monday, I might got you, though. Monday, because, the kids are gone to hip-hop dance. So.
All right, so Monday, if Mike cancels me and Mike for the primetime show.
Yeah. And then you always got the world famous Buckeye show right here every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Make sure that you catch Mark Rogers. Dang, I forgot, when is his show?
The Buckeye show?
The Buckeye Live show.
Yeah, 11 a.m. Wednesdays.
Yeah, 11 a.m. on Wednesday. So make sure Garrison and I, like I told you all earlier in the show, Garrison and I are setting up a meeting so that we can talk about all the things that is coming out for our members. We appreciate you. I want to shout out all of our members. Doreen, Blue Wolverine, When Stars Align, Bootzilla, Jordan Koppler, Grizz, Rob, Jam OSU, Philip, Doug, and our guy, John Bruce. So we appreciate all of our members. If you want to be a member and get acquainted with all of the content that me and Garrison is coming up with, about to drop for you all, because you all will be the first ones. With that, you have your Block O Club for $2.99. JT wasn't short for $4.99, and we don't give a damn for $9.99. Garrison, let the people know where they can find you.
Guys, you can find me at Buckeye_Daddy. That's Daddy with a G is my last name. Crazy, I know, right? But you can find me there. And then also, if you do want to follow me on Instagram, because I do post some of the stuff there. Also on Scarlet and Blue Show, you can find me there. But it's _Dean Jr. And also, if you go on our web, also everyone, if you go on the website and go to our host page, you can find people's socials in there if you want to follow anyone else out there. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do got the website, man. Check us out. voiceofcollegefootball.com, man. So make sure y'all tuned in. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Go Buck OH.
Ayo.
And we out of here.